Hello, I'm Jen from PAX. I'd like to speak with you in regards to several scenarios related to sex. Don't laugh, this is serious material. This program addresses realistic problems students may encounter concerning sex while they're living in the U.S. While sexual harassment and inappropriate sexual behavior only affect a very small amount of students each year, you or a close friend may be faced with similar issues, and it's important that you know what to do. Some problems are confusing or awkward, while others are illegal or potentially dangerous. Not properly understanding the issues could get you in a lot of trouble. Please take some time to explore this presentation, and don't be afraid to ask questions. PAX is here to support you and keep you safe in the United States. The advice we offer in the following presentation is intended to help you understand what to do if faced with any of these problems. Now, meet Tavi and Tomas, two program participants who are just finishing up their year in the US.
Wow, I've had a great year. I met new people, my English is much better, and I really had a chance to see my country in a new way as I compared it to the US.
Me too. Good year. Not exactly perfect, and with a few challenges.
I know what you mean. For me, one of the most difficult has been relationships with guys. I mean, understanding how girls and guys hang out here. In my country, a girl wouldn't even hold hands or dance with a boy until she's in her 20s. And here, it's, a lot different.
Yes, it is. But often in a very good way. But you're right. In my country, if I see a girl I like walking down the street, I just shout out my interest. And here that would get you in a lot of trouble. I made the mistake early on. Wow, what a mess. Never again, at least not here.
While personal and sexual relationships are just one small part of your visit to the US, they are still important issues. And because it's so personal and can be uncomfortable to discuss, we've developed this program to help you understand some do's and don'ts. It doesn't take long, and you'll learn a lot of very important information. And it's good for your vocabulary. Some things don't change between your country and the US. Proper sexual behavior is in your control. You don't ever have to do anything you think is wrong, or anything you don't want to do. You still have to make your own choices. You are still responsible for your own actions. Some things, however, do change. Laws are different. You can get in a lot of trouble in the US for things that may be less of an issue in your home country. Cultural expectations are different. Your host parents, school teachers, and people in the community might have very different ideas about sex and appropriate sexual behavior from those ideas and values you're used to at home. Your support network of family, friends, and counselors is different from who you have back home. So if you do have a problem, it's important to know who you can talk to. This program explores a few of those differences. You don't have to be anyone but yourself while you're in the US, but there are some things you should be aware of in order to assure that you have a happy and pleasant experience here.
While you are here, you are going to be living with a family. Those families come in every size and shape. You are going to be in close contact. Privacy is often an issue.
You need to be sure to maintain your privacy and the appropriate relationship between you and the other people with whom you are living.
Let's be clear about what should never happen. In the simplest sense, there should never be any type of sexual relationship between a student on this program and an adult. Men and girls, women and boys, or same-sex relationships, no matter what, it should never occur. This includes someone trying to kiss you, touch your breasts or genitals, or touching you inappropriately in any other way.
No one should ever watch you while you get dressed, shower, or at any other time that should be private. Your body is yours. If an adult approaches you in a sexual way or continuously makes you feel uncomfortable, this is wrong and inappropriate. What to do if this happens? We'll talk about that in a minute. But remember, adult-student sexual contact is totally inappropriate, even if the idea appeals to you. If you encourage or let this behavior happen, then it's going to be a big problem for you.
I know exactly what Tomas means. Sometimes it's easy to forget to be modest when you are comfortable in your US home. At the same time, no student should ever tolerate advances of a sexual nature by an adult.
If you are ever uncomfortable in how you are being treated, or if you feel that an adult in the household is making inappropriate advances, watching you, or trying to touch your body in private places, you should do the following. Let your local coordinator know immediately. Let the PACS support desk know immediately. Call 1-800-555-6211 and ask for the support counselor, who will gladly assist you. Do's and don'ts. Don't wait to see if something happens again if it has already happened once. Report the situation immediately. Do stay with a friend or with a guidance counselor or a teacher at school you trust if you feel frightened. Don't think that what feels wrong is okay just because you're in a different country. If it feels wrong, it usually is wrong, and PACS is here to help you. Do contact PACS as soon as possible at 1-800-555-6211 and talk to our staff about your concerns. We're good listeners and we will not judge you.
Hey, it rarely happens and certainly didn't happen to anyone I know, but it's worth talking about. Adults know that sexual contact between them and us should never happen. Now, sexual contact between kids, that's different.
We can't tell you how to act. This is up to you. The US might be more open and liberal than your home country, or it might be more closed and modest. In the end, you have to be yourself. But remember, there are certain behaviors that might be okay at home that will get you in a lot of trouble here.
Let's talk straight. Sex is not permitted or simply not engaged by nice girls in my country prior to marriage. I know this is different than in the US, at least for some people, but that's a personal choice. For me, I'm following the same behavior as I would at home, and that's a good idea for you too.
While my society is more open and liberal than Tavi's, there's nothing in the US that is so different than at home. I too follow my own ethical and moral standards and found this served me well.
It is against the law for anyone to have a sexual relationship with someone who's considered a minor. In most states, a minor is anyone under the age of 16. While the laws vary from state to state, they are restrictive and the penalties are severe. It doesn't matter who starts it, how old the guy or girl looks or behaves. Sexual contact with a minor is against the law, pure and simple.
You should also be careful about your language and use of the internet in your US home. Things you look at on the internet are stored in a history file. Whatever you look at, someone is going to see eventually. You should be sensitive to how your host family will react to this.
That's right. Even if your friends are fooling around on the computer, totally harmless, it could easily offend your host parents and might be inappropriate if younger children are at the house.
But enough talk. Let's look at some situations and then you decide what's the right thing to do. 6 scenarios that follow are based on actual situations. While they are rare, they do happen and they shouldn't. You will learn a lot by working through these situations and understanding the right thing to do in each circumstance. It only takes a few minutes.